Hello, stay-at-homies. What's up? Hope you're doing great. Hope you had a great weekend. So I've got just a kind of fun little craft for us to do today. Please don't jump on the computer. Here she comes. Hello, Gretchen. I think I know why she's doing this. Because today's craft is using toilet paper rolls. And Gretchen actually loves to play with these. I buy her toys from the pet store, doesn't care. Empty toilet paper tube, she's all about it. So I think that's maybe why she's all up in my business here. Okay, so maybe, we're okay. I don't think they want to see that. So I've been spending a lot more time at home, like you have, obviously. I'm just kind of spending more time just looking out the window, noticing things that are going on. So last week we did a window bingo game that was kind of fun to watch out the window. And that kind of got me thinking about how it can be fun to bird watch or people watch or dog watch, see how many people go past walking their dogs. I was thinking it might be fun to have some binoculars to help with watching out the window, whether you're bird watching or people watching or whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so to make our fun little binoculars today, we are going to use 2 toilet paper rolls. We are going to use a stapler to attach them. You could put a string on yours so that you can kind of wear them around your neck. That might be handy if you are going to watch for something and then maybe write something down. Maybe you're going to keep track of how many birds you see when you're looking out the window. So you're looking, oh, and then you drop it so that you can add to your list. That way they don't fall, they're just hanging around your neck. That might be a good thing. So in that case, of course, you'd need some yarn or some string and a hole punch. Now, you don't have to do this, but of course, it's more fun to decorate, I think. So you'll need some way to decorate your binoculars as well. And there's a few different ways that you can do that. I'm going to show you a couple. So I'm going to show you how you can use a paper scrap to decorate. And then I also found some kind of fun tape kicking around my craft area. You could also use stickers. You could even just use markers or crayons or even paint right on the cardboard. That would totally work too. So you've got some options. So let's get started. Okay, so because there's 2 rolls, I'm going to decorate my 2 rolls in 2 different ways just so that I can show you. You could make yours matching. You can make them exactly the same. You can make them different. Totally up to you. All right, so I've got this just kind of funny shaped piece of paper. This is left over from some other craft, probably the paper flowers we did last week. Now I want to start off by making sure it's the right size. So what I'm going to do is just line up my toilet paper roll, and I could use a pencil to mark it. I forgot to grab a pencil, so I'm actually just going to press it with my fingernail. Make a tiny little mark in the paper, and that'll show me where to fold it. So if I fold it over right where I marked it, make sure it's lined up on the sides, that'll give me a nice straight line. Now I probably won't need the paper to be quite this long, so to measure that part of it, I'm going to hold it onto my roll, roll it around, and I do want the edges of this paper to overlap a little bit when I'm gluing it on. So I'll go a little bit past and then fold it over. This is my super high-tech measuring technique. I mean, you could, use a ruler and all that if you wanted to. So now I'm ready to add my design. Now, I'm just going to make my design on the paper like this and then attach it to the toilet paper roll after I'm done. But something I want to keep in mind is that the inside part of my design won't be seen because it'll be attached to the other roll. So I don't really want the most important parts of my design to be close to the edge. I want those parts to be more in the middle so that they're actually seen. So I'm just going to use some markers and go ahead and do some decorating. Alright, so I've got my little designs all finished on my piece of paper, and so the next step is going to be to attach it to the toilet paper roll. And if you were doing both of your toilet paper rolls the same way, then you would have two papers to attach. I just have the one. I'm going to spread some glue on the back. Now with this step, you do want to be a little bit careful to line it up nice and straight, because when you roll the paper onto it, if it's not lined up straight, it's going to start coming off the edge and it'll be kind of funny. There we go. I'm just putting a little bit of pressure on as I roll. And so there's where my paper overlaps. You can see how it's cutting off a little bit of my design. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more glue on this edge here, just to hold everything together. Okay, so there's one roll. I'm going to set this aside while I work on the other one. Now for this one, I'm using some of my fancy tape. This is actually called washi tape, which I just think is a great name because it's fun to say washi. Go ahead, say it. Washi, washi tape. If I could get the edge up. There we go. Now, if you don't have washi tape, you could use stickers. You could just color right onto the cardboard if you want to speed it up. You could try painting on the cardboard tube. I just thought, I've got this tape kind of lying around. I don't really use it, so I'm going to give it a try. Okay, so I've kind of carefully gone one time around the tube. A little bit of overlap so I don't have a gap in there. Try and get it straight. Now I'm always starting my washi tape in the same spot so that the edge where it's attached and where it has that little overlap is always going to be in the same place. And that will just help things to look nice and neat once I attach my two rolls together. See what I did? I was rushing. Just going to add a little piece just to make sure it doesn't come lifting up. There we go. This is kind of cute. It's got some birds on it, some music notes. Since I'll probably be doing some bird watching, this is a good one. All right, so there's my second roll ready to go. Now remember, I could have done both of my rolls with tape or both of my rolls with little doodles or whatever to make them match. I did 2 different ones just so that I could show you 2 different techniques, but you can make yours your very own, of course. Now to attach them, this is where the stapler comes in. What I'm going to do is see that the seam, so where my paper is glued on and you can see the edge of the paper there, the seam of my paper and the seam of my tape, so all these spots where my tape overlaps a little bit, so those are the ends, that's what I'm going to line up in the middle, like that. And I'm going to put mine right on the table like this, and that way I know they're flat. And I'm going to reach my stapler inside, give it a little squeeze. Look at that, easy peasy. I'm going to do another one down at the bottom. My binoculars are just about done. I could leave them like this. I'm actually just going to attach a string to mine so that I can have them around my neck. And I want to do this at the top. So I want to make sure if there's a certain way that my design needs to face, I want to have it pointing up so that my string is hanging from the top. Otherwise, my designs could be upside down. And then on the outside edges, I'm going to do a hole over here. Just like that, you can see it. And I'm gonna do one on the other side, right about there. Now for this part, you might want to measure how long you want your yarn to be, because if you don't, you might end up making it too short that you won't be able to fit it over your head, or you'll make it so long that it like hangs down past your knees and kind of gets in the way. So what I do is unravel a little bit of my string or my yarn that I'm going to use, and then imagine where I really want my binoculars to be. I would say probably about here for me. And then I want to add a little bit to that so that I have room to tie my knots. So I'm just going to pull it so it's a little bit longer than what I actually want. And then I'm carefully going to cut. And that way I know that I have a string that's the right length for me. And then I'm ready to tie it on. So I'm going to go through the hole that I punched. I'm going to tie it. And I'm going to tie it again just to make sure it doesn't come undone. There's one side. And if this step is a little bit tricky, you could ask somebody to help you with it. There we go. All right, I am ready for some window bird watching. All right. Maybe I'll do some spying, see what I see. So that's it for me today. Hope you have fun making some binoculars and checking out some things outside, see what you see. Till next time, be brave, be kind, and wash your hands. Bye.